When you find this business, I don't care if you are down the street or live out of state, you will go see this business. These are must. Why are you interested in this business? Why would you not be interested in this business? What are you going to find out about it? And how does this business get done? And then you're going to go see with your own eyes. Unless you got some asset manager and you're some big time, until that point, this will be you. This will be you. Unless you got a partner, maybe that you're very comfortable with and you feel strong that they're going to make good decisions. If you don't, this will be you because you want to get a look at the area. You want to go see the building conditions yourself. You want to look at any of the other assets, the tractor, the golf cart, the car. You want to meet the employees. Do you get good feelings from them? Are they just based off of you being there and the time frame that you were there? Were they working? Were they doing something? Were they away? Were they quiet? What were they doing? You also want to meet the seller. It's very important. This is an exchange of hands. This is a transaction between two people. Unless this is some super mega conglomerate where this business transaction doesn't happen between two individuals, then I would highly suggest that you introduce yourself to the seller. It could also be helpful when you continue going through your log process to determine how maybe to present the next offer based off what you then go see. You're not just going to keep it to go seeing the property to the business. You need to go look around, go to verify that the traffic of people is there, verify that the attractions that when you Google mapped it looks as what it's described online. Sometimes websites look way better than what the business actually looks like in person. And then go check out other business types. Go walk in their store, go shop them. What does it look like for them? What could you be like? What do you have to get to with your local competitors in the area? When I went to Missouri, so when you at first looking at Google Maps is not a bad thing because that's part of your first initial underwriting process. Are you interested in this business? What's around this business? What does it look like? Okay, the laundromat that was actually one of my first questions was because the way that it was advertised said Miami. And for someone who lives in Miami, who's lived in Miami before, I was like, where in Miami? Because that's a really big city. And we can be in like great areas or we could be in not some great areas. And so where is this? And so that was my very first thing. Where in Miami? And it ended up being in a subdivision called Doral. And Doral was in a very heavy residential place. I could be in Miami, I could be in South Beach. That's travelers. Like that's short term. Are people really going in to wash their laundry over in South Beach? Probably not. Not as much as they probably would in the residential area. When I went to the Missouri, one of the really cool things that was on the list was this Jesse James Museum. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to go to this Jesse James Museum. When I showed up, it was closed and it did not look like a real museum. Okay. So it's so important. If I was to just look at that first glance, zoomed in on some Google Maps and was like, oh, it's got the Jesse James Museum right there, and it's got this wild encounter over here. And the wild encounter, when I talked to the owner of the place, he was like, don't go to that one because that one, the tiger is like walking on his heels. Like, these are the reasons why it's so important for you to go see. And you will log this process. You will put pen to paper, write this down because you'll need your pros and cons when you need to articulate this to somebody else. And you will need to ask very specific questions that are going to help you gather all the information that you need to take over this business. We're not starting a business from scratch. We are taking over a business. And so it's very important that, especially if it's in a business that you don't necessarily know well, ask all the questions. Don't stop. Every time a new piece of information comes up, it's the what and the how does this get done. Forget the simple questions of the can, the is, the are, the do, the does. simple ones that don't really just bring out a lot more of an elaborative reasoning too. And then you will go see this. I am ordering you. You will go see this business. Okay. Now that you've done those things really quick before you go to that process, let's go back for a sec. Oh, I think I might have skipped. List your pros and cons. Originated your calibrated questions. You went to go see the business. You will now, in that time, start your initial underwriting process, or you've started your initial underwriting process. So by asking for the right questions, by beginning your log, you have started the initial underwriting process. It doesn't sound very scary. I think the scariest thing that I could have shared with you is the fact that you need to ask for a P&L. But other than that, you're jotting down why you would buy it, why you wouldn't, what's the thing that I need to prove wrong about this business so that I can figure out if that's something that can be accomplished or not, if that's true or not. Here's all my questions that I need to find out about this business. And then I'm going to go drive, I'm going to go fly, I'm going to go see this business, I'm going to go take a look around. I'm going to really get a sense for the business by just showing up. And that right there, those things have already started your underwriting process. You've become an underwriter at that point. And the only thing, they're highlighted in black, that you need to start that process is get the P&L. It doesn't need to be the last 2 years. It doesn't need to be the last 3 years. It just to begin this process, just get your eyes on at least the last 6 to 12 months. And I say 6 to 12 months because if you're in a January, February, beginning of the year, come next year, you're not talking about the 1 month of a P&L. You're literally talking, let me see at least the last 6 to 12 months of a P&L statement. Figure out what it is that you need to find out to be wrong. I saw the true and I'm like, is that what I wanted to say? Find out what it is that you are set in to go figure out to be right or wrong. What is it that you're looking to improve? What is the problem that you're looking to fix? Is that going to be true or not? Jot down your questions based off of this P&L that I will share at some point, especially if you have some time, and then go see the business. And you've started your initial underwriting process right there. Then in your initial underwriting process, the thing that seals the deal, the thing that moves you forward into your next phase is you submitting a letter of intent. Now, that's something that I did not share, that I am going to share, that I did not post about, but I will share my letter of intent template. It does come from a lawyer. It does have legal aspects to it. You may need to make sure state by state if everything is included or can be included based on your state. I'm in Florida, and so this is a Florida LOI template, but definitely something that can be used. You may need to add a sentence or two depending on the state that you're in. I don't really know. Certainly ask a lawyer or Google it.